Well, hello, everyone, and welcome to White Sands Self-Care chapter of Igniting Wellness and Event Systems. I am the founder and host, Laura Cross, and as many of you may know, our mission is to empower people to be proactive in their self-care and live a healthier lifestyle by providing resources, education, and connections to a variety of holistic and health and wellness providers. And today I have this lovely lady that has a very unique profession, Elisabeth Denizot. And Elisabeth believes in the healing power of horses. It's a very unique profession. I love it. Elisabeth hails to us from France. She grew up loving horses, and her dream came true when she started riding as a young teen and into adulthood. Intuitively, though, she knew that there was more to horses than just riding them. And when she got married and she moved to Colorado, of course, life took over and horses were not a part of it for many years. But she felt the need to reconnect with the horses and took the first steps by volunteering at Rocky Mountain Riding Therapy in Boulder. That step was soon followed by another one when she became a certified Equine Gestalt Coach. And that is what she is here with us today, which led her through a rewarding journey of introspection and personal growth. Elisabeth believes that every one of us is a resourceful and has the answers within ourselves, only just that they are outside of their awareness. A lot of times we are not aware of that. So she is committed to assisting people in uncovering their own truth so they can live an empowered life and knowing that their destiny is in their own hands. And I want to turn this over to Elisabeth because only she can explain this better. I enjoyed visiting with her and the horses, and it is a very unique profession. So Elisabeth, if you can fill us in a little bit more about how you do this healing with horses.
Well, thank you very much, Laura, first of all, for having me here. It's a pleasure and an honor. And, when you say, I'm going to turn over to Elisabeth and ask her to fill us in, she can do it better than I do. Actually, Laura, I'm not sure. Thank you for your extensive introduction. And I'm saying I'm not sure because partnering with the horses the way I do it, using the Gestalt modality, is actually better explained in action than in words. Gestalt, by definition, is experiential. So trying to put words around the whole partnership thing is actually a challenge. Gestalt is all about being in the here and now, being present. Horses are masters at living in the here and now. Us human beings, and tell me if you think differently, but we tend to live in our heads.
Yes, we do.
We do. Yeah, you relate to that.
Oh, yes. Well, yeah, especially if you're an overthinker. I think the studies show that we have over 6,400 thoughts that go through our head. And if you're an overthinker, you have a whole lot more. So too often we overthink things and stay too locked up in our head. You are correct.
Absolutely. And I like that you're saying too locked up. We overthink things. We build those scenarios, those stories, typically not for the happiest ending. It's always more drama that we create for ourselves. And horses can't relate to that. Horses can't relate to what's going on in our heads. We ignore our intuition. Horses always rely on their intuition, and their survival depends on their ability to accurately read their environment. They're able to read the environment as far as the horizon. So depending on where you live, the horizon is right there, or it's really far away, but they know if there's a predator, if they need to flee, or if they can keep grazing peacefully. So we're part of their environment. And when we are one place in our head. We feel something else in our hearts and another thing in our guts. And we ignore all this to rely on what's in our heads. They don't want to have to do anything with us. It's like, you are not safe. I don't like that. You're not congruent. So in that matter, they're the best guides towards achieving congruency, and which means to be aligned with what's in our heads, hearts, guts. And this is where the human coach plays a part. The job of the human coach is to bring the human being into their bodies, away from their heads and into their bodies. Fritz Perls, who is the founder of Gestalt, you would say, lose your senses and come to your body. Geez, I just said the other way around.
You know, something I wanted to bring up, because when you and I met,
yeah.
When you and I met, we had talked about how, especially Americans, and as Americans, we're used to using horses to plow fields as workhorses, to ride on them. We don't necessarily look at them. You were telling me, explaining to me about the vibrations and how they pick up on the vibrations. And there is a certain peacefulness and calmness when you're around them. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe that has to do with the vibration, which is kind of what you're getting at with the.
Yes, absolutely, Laura, absolutely. You know, we emit vibrations, our heartbeat emits vibrations, and horses' hearts are way bigger than ours. So we are impacted by we're impacted positively by their vibration, their heartbeats slower than ours. So even without us noticing it, they work on us, and they have that calming effect that you're talking about.
Absolutely. And when you have that, if I'm not mistaken, that's kind of what draws them to you, where you might notice where one particular horse might come and walk over and be drawn to you.
Yes, they're actually drawn to you when you are congruent, when you are aligned, when you are in your body. When, you know how you can feel mad inside, but put on a good face for everybody else. So you might fool people around you, but you're not going to fool horses, and they're not going to like it. They're going to be like, something's not aligned. Something is off here. I'm not interested in that type of energy. So that makes me think of a story where, a session where a client was distressed because she lost both parents within 3 years, and she was really close to her parents, and she felt that nobody could understand her grief. People were telling her, come on, it's been 3 years, you know, okay, yeah, you love them, but get over it. And she expresses this, and she's crying her heart out, and she gets in with the horse. And prior to getting in with the horse, she asks, well, I'm a mess right now. Is it still okay for me to be that close to the horse when I'm a complete mess? And the answer was yes. Yes, absolutely. And what happened was nothing short of a miracle, which is what we noticed with horses on a daily basis when we work with them. She stood in there with the horse, and the horse cried. So horses physiologically have the ability to cry. It's not how they express their grief, though. But this horse related to her, it was a mare actually. The mare related to her because she was congruent. Had she walked in pretending to be happy when actually inside she was torn and devastated, the mare wouldn't have engaged with her.
And how did she feel afterwards?
Oh, so what she said was, it's the first time that I feel that I was going to say a human, that a living, A living being, that's how she worded it. It's the first time I feel that a living being gets my grief. And she walked off with like a huge weight lifted off of her shoulders.
And that kind of reminds me, I mean, because I'm not unfamiliar with grief. As you know, I lost my husband almost 17 years ago. And you want to be able to talk to someone or get it out. And your family tries so hard and they feel like they know you, they know everything. And like you said, we're too much in our head and you start, overthinking things. So I can only imagine the experience that she had. That was awesome to be able to provide that for her.
Oh, yeah, it was beautiful. And that's how, getting out of our heads and to connect with our guts, with who we really are, not who we think we should be, not who we think we have to be. It has nothing to do, it's really all about connecting with your essence, who you are deep inside, away from all the expectations that society puts onto us or that we put onto ourselves. And in that matter, a session with a horse is one of empowerment. Earlier, you in your introduction, you mentioned how your goal with your program is to empower people. And this is exactly what doing an Equine Gestalt session does. It's about stepping into your inner power, being who you really are.
I love that too. It's like in perfect alignment. I know you mentioned some of the things that you can help people with, like when people they want to take action towards their self-care, but they don't seem to be able to, commit to it. Or maybe they keep repeating the same promises to themselves over and over, but then they just don't do it, and to no avail, they never keep that promise. Or like you said, they question their self-worth. So and there's a lot of different things. I'm sure there's other things that experience helps with people. I know you have two beautiful horses out there.
Yes, absolutely. And they're here for you, all of you who are watching us. They're here for you to accept you as you are. That's also the beautiful thing with horses. They are non-judgmental. They take you as you are. And the minute you step into your vulnerability, they show up. And they're here to guide you, to show you the way.
And you have a free event, I believe, coming up to let people experience that. Because like I said, it's a very unique profession, and it's not until I met you, I had never even heard of that profession. And then once we met, it's like, wow.
Indeed, yes, indeed. Like I said at the beginning, it's best experienced than talked about. So you are welcome to join in this coming Sunday from 10:30 to 12:30 in Lafayette, Colorado. Send me an email and I'll reserve your spot. I look forward to seeing you there. So
that would be wonderful.
So you can take, yes, another nurturing strides.
I will have all of Elisabeth's information in the comment section after we finish with this video. And so if anyone is in the area or has more questions about that profession or something you want to talk to her about offline, I will have all of her contact information. Please feel free to reach out. Elisabeth is a wonderful lady to work with. And I want to wish everybody a really good afternoon. And I will see you next week with my next health and wellness professional, Kat Shull. And so we will be talking about her profession next week. So have a great weekend. And Elisabeth, thank you very much for joining me. I greatly appreciate your time.
Thank you very much for having me, Laura.
Thank you.